So you think you've seen every zombie movie, eh? And there's no unique original formula that could ever poke through the atmosphere and make your attention grabbed again? Well, maybe I have one for you today, and it's a new one coming out soon, so let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of a new movie coming out to theaters nationwide on January 2nd. It's called We Bury the Dead. And yes, it is a zombie movie, but no, this isn't your typical zombie film. This is a very well-made film by Zach Hilditch, who has done other movies in the genre, like 1922, the Stephen King movie that was on Netflix, I believe. He also did Rattlesnake and a few other things, Final Hours. But this one has a pretty big cast, too, and it's got Daisy Ridley, yes, Rey, from Star Wars, which I've never been too big a fan, really, to be quite honest with you, but I really liked her in this film. So what is We Bury the Dead all about anyway? We Bury the Dead is a film that is about a woman who recently just got married to a man. They have been separated because he had to go on some sort of work trip, and some sort of tragedy happens where a bomb goes off where he was staying. Now, his work trip is in Tasmania, which is a small island off the coast of Australia, and a bomb by the US accidentally goes off. And it is a new technology that sends out a pulse that is almost like an EMP, and it knocks people out in their brains, and they just stop and drop where they are right there at that moment. This accident happens, and it turns out that some of the people, they're not dead. They keep waking up in some sort of supposedly docile situation, and the zombies in this movie, or whatever they are, zombie-ish, and man, they are scary, horrific, and they do something that anybody that has some sort of issue with audio might grind your gears. Let me just tell you that. But without spoiling anything, this girl, who is played by Daisy Ridley, goes to Tasmania to do body cleanup and tries to go south to where her husband is to kind of get some closure with what's going on and find out if he's still alive or one of the ones that have been waking up. Along the way, she has a lot of crazy adventures fraught with like crazy stuff, whether they be human beings or just disaster everywhere. And this movie is beautiful, man. But I think Zach Hilditch did a really phenomenal job, as well as Daisy Ridley, who was in this movie. She is amazing and does a very emotional, very beautiful performance in this movie that I was just kind of blown away by. Not only is she rising to the occasion in certain situations, but just the subtle nuanced performance that she gives with this emotionally sort of crazy zombie film that isn't exactly like some sort of action movie, but definitely has its moments of action. Like, it's a big movie, and I don't want you to think, oh, it's just an indie movie, because some of you guys get a little weirded out with indie movies, and it has the appeal of an indie movie because it feels very condensed, but it has a huge story that is spanning an entire island. Very epic in a lot of ways, but also very condensed and personal, which I think is really great. The music in this movie is just so sentimental and very melodic. The perfect score in it, the way they do it is very different from other movies I've seen too. It just has this vibe about it that kind of feels modern and nostalgic, and also sort of something that makes you, when you listen to a song, feel like memories. And all the low bass frequencies that they have going in the background, it almost feels like dance music in some ways, but it really isn't. It's just these moments that really kind of tie everything together. I thought it was a fantastic score. I really had to mention that in this. The gore in this, there is definitely some gore. But really what we're focusing on here is the performances from all the people in this movie that I think really do a great job. And you're also going to see a familiar face in here. Mark Cole Smith, who was in Beast of War, is in this movie. He was like one of the main guys in that movie. He does a really pretty interesting part in this film that I don't want to say anything more about. Pretty impressed with this movie overall. Just the vibe of it. It's very moody. There's a lot of moments of real tension. When you see the zombies, they really are very unsettling. And it ranges the different styles of zombies in this movie. So you're not just going to see one type. And it definitely has an ending that I don't think you're going to expect. There is definitely some twists and turns in this movie that I think feel realistic and meaningful. I know that this film was incredibly personal to Zach Hilditch, who wrote this story as well. He had a passing of family members, so this is an incredibly meaningful film. But yeah, I really liked it a whole lot. I think it's at least an 8 out of 10, and it would be on my list this year if it wasn't that it's coming out next year. I genuinely think you need to see this movie as soon as it comes out, and I am a little surprised that it's coming out in January. I think that it could have held up with some of the best movies, and I think it's better than 28 years later as far as I'm concerned. Visually, it may not hold up, but it's pretty close, and they do a really good job with the characters, the creatures, the scenery, and it just feels really authentic. So if you're looking for something that is definitely going to be on a higher tier, definitely check this out. I think it's a theater movie for sure, but just don't go into expecting this is going to be, Dawn of the Dead. There's going to be its moments in there, but it's really kind of about the characters. I don't feel like it lagged in any areas. There are just a lot of moments from beat to beat that just feel like they run like a really good pace, and the end of the movie was a nice surprise. So I think if you're looking for something that might be a good film to watch, and you are not opposed to seeing a zombie film, considering this is very different, I wouldn't lead you astray if I felt like it was so similar, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's worth seeing in the theater, and I'm really thankful that Vertical allowed me to check this out ahead of time. I was very excited after watching this movie. It really packs a punch. So get out there if you can, January 2nd, to check it out. Let me know what you think of the trailer, what you think of the synopsis. It's something different. This is a pulse. This isn't like an infection. It's like something that affects the brain in a different way. So it feels kind of new and fresh while you're watching it, because you really don't know what to expect, not only from the characters you meet, but also from the zombies that you see. And there's some really up close and personal moments with them, and they look amazing. They look so good. I don't know what else to say, but thank you, Vertical, and thank you all of you for tuning in while I've been away. It really means a lot to me, because I've been worried that it was going to kill the channel. So if you see any other videos up there, give them a watch. Hopefully I will be getting back to normal here in the next couple of days, at least for a few weeks, and we'll try to get some more entertainment out there for you guys. But thanks for coming by, and as always, long live the void.